Hello, dear students. I am Dr. Mahesh Nakas, and in this video class, we will be discussing the prose homeless in the global village. Of course, not entirely the prose, a part of this prose, okay, written by Vandana Shiva. And this is class one of this prose. Right, this is the picture or photograph of the writer Vandana Shiva. Okay, born in 1952. Let us have a look at the recap. In the last class, we, last class or classes, okay, when we studied prose, okay, we studied emotion and discipline. We discussed at length about different aspects that were there in this prose. Their aims of education, okay, and behaviorist theory. Behaviorist theory is also called as the reward and punishment method. I think you remember it. At the same time, we also discussed limitations of this theory. Okay, this theory has its own limitation, and of course, Sigmund Freud brought these limitations in a scientific manner. At the same time, we looked at the undesirable habits that we generally find in children, like kleptomania and bedwetting. And we also learned that it is important to operate upon feeling of an individual rather than on his or her overt behavior. And of course, towards the end of the prose, we saw how the writer discussed the importance of freedom and safety. Okay, coming back to this particular class, class one of homeless in the global village. This class has three objectives, learning objectives. The first one is to make the students know about Vandana Shiva, the writer, of course. The second objective is to make them comprehend the modern concept of development. Look at this, development in single inverted comma. So the modern concept of development you will be knowing short while, to make them learn about the damage done to the tribal population because of this development. Okay, all these things you will know when the class ends. Right, the writer Vandana Shiva, okay, and she was born on 5th November 1952, Dehradun, Uttar Pradesh, the present Uttarakhand. It was then in UP, but now it is in Uttarakhand, Dehradun. She was an ecofeminist environmental activist. Ecofeminist environmental activist. Okay. And she has published over 300 research papers on different topics, majority of them on environment related issues. Yes, she joined the Chipko movement in 1970s. Okay, she uh, formulated groups, especially women groups, to protect trees. Yes, many awards have been won by her, and some of important awards are listed here. Wright Livelihood Award in 1993, Sydney Peace Prize 2010, and Fukuoka Asian Culture Prize in 2012. Okay, and some books are written by her, yeah, popular books, in fact. Staying Alive, 1988 publication. Another Story of Progress, 1912. Sorry, this may be a mistake. Okay, I think this is 2012. Okay, dear students, fine now. Just correct it. The Farmer and His Prince, 2013. These are some of the important books she has authored. Okay, the prose. So, a bird's view at the prose. This prose throws light on the plight of communities displaced by large industrial projects like dams and power generation projects or power generation plants. So, this prose tells about or explains about the plight, means the condition, pitiable condition, sad condition of the communities who are displaced, who are removed from their original places because of large industrial projects like dams and power generation projects. And modern world places a high value on the global native. Yes, this prose deals with this aspect also. Modern world, this modern world, okay, present day world, 20th century or 21st century world, places a high value. It respects, it honors and the global native. This global native who finds a place everywhere and it belongs nowhere. This global native, he finds a place in every country, but he does not belong to any country. Okay, that is the global native concept. So it tells about this aspect also. At the same time, this prose focuses on the fact that development marginalizes poorer communities. This development marginalizes. Okay, it pushes aside poorer communities and devalues, dishonors, disrespects their sentiments about their land and culture. This modern concept of development does not give any value to the sentiments of the poorer communities who consider their land and soil as sacred. Okay, all these things are discussed in this rose, dear students. Fine, now let us look at the analysis of a section of this prose. Global market integration. This is one thing. Global market integration. That means the market not only, okay, it is, we might have heard the word globalization. So many things have been globalized. We also call as global village, global native. So just like that, global market, that means you can sell your product anywhere in the world. You can buy any product anywhere in the world. So global market integration, that is one thing. And transnational capital, you can invest your money in any country on this earth. Okay, transnational capitalism. These two things, ಇವೆರಡು ಅಂಶಗಳು, global market integration and the transnational capitalism, these two things create condition of homelessness. These two things create homelessness condition in real and imaginary ways. ಸೊ ಈ ಎರಡು ಅಂಶಗಳು ಹೋಮ್ಲೆಸ್ನೆಸ್, ಮನೆ ರಹಿತ ಒಂದು ವಾತಾವರಣವನ್ನ, ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನ ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಹೇಗೆ? ಇನ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನರಿ ವೇಸ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ how it is real and how it is imaginary, right? So the transnational corporation executive, okay, executive, just like CEOs, your CEOs, okay, chief executive officers, okay, CEO, your CEOs and such, okay, I mean positions, they can be considered as transnational corporation executive. Who finds a home in every country is homeless in terms of the deeper cultural sense of rootedness. Just imagine a CEO of a reputed world company, okay, just like your Google or your Infosys or your Wipro, or just like your, who is that person? Okay, so many such persons, CEOs are there. Okay, fine. So the transnational corporation executive, he finds a home in every country. Wherever he goes, he will have a room or a suite in popular or five-star hotels. Maybe that is Hilton or Holiday Inn. The writer mentioned these two names. So such persons, such executives who belong to this transnational corporation, transnational companies like MNCs, multinational companies ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದಂತಹ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ಸು ಯಾವುದೇ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರು ಆಯಾ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಕೆಲವು ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸು ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ಲಾಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಸ್ಟೇ ದೇರ್. ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ದೇ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, but they are homeless. ಹೌ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಹೋಮ್ಲೆಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ದೇಶದಲ್ಲೂ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಆದರೆ ಹೋಮ್ಲೆಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಹೋಮ್ಲೆಸ್. In which sense? In terms of the deeper cultural sense of rootedness. That means they do not belong to the country where they stay for a while, for some days or for a week. Just imagine, okay, a CEO or an executive who works with a multinational company. He goes for a meeting or to launch a product for some country. He stays there. Of course, he has a home there. But he cannot say that he belongs to that country. Or that country cannot say that this person belongs to me. So that is homelessness in imaginary sense. ಸೊ ಅದು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನರಿ ಸೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಮ್ಲೆಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಅವನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋಗಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ಸು. ಆದರೆ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ರೂಟೆಡ್ನೆಸ್, ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ವಿಚಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ವಿಚಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ದೇಶವು ತನ್ನ ಸ್ವಂತ ದೇಶ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೇ ದೇಶ ಅವನನ್ನು ತನ್ನ ಸ್ವಂತವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ದ ರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್, ಹೋಮ್ಲೆಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ದ ಕಲ್ಚರಲಿ ರೂಟೆಡ್ ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್, yes, the tribal people, they are culturally rooted to their land where they live. Okay, they have strong bondage with that land. ಏನು ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಗಿರಿಜನರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಅಥವಾ ಮೂಲವಾಸಿಗಳು, ಆದಿವಾಸಿಗಳು ಅಂತ. They have strong cultural roots. They have strong bondage with the place they live. Their ancestors lived there. Okay, for hundreds of years they were there. ಅವರ ಮುತ್ತಾತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ತಾತ ಮುತ್ತಾತಂದಿರು, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹ ಅದೇ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡುವಂಥವ್ರು. ಅವರು ಕಲ್ಚರಲಿ ರೂಟೆಡ್ ಅವರು ಅಂಥವರು. ಓಕೆ, ಸಚ್ ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಸಚ್ ಕಲ್ಚರಲಿ ರೂಟೆಡ್ ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ನೌ ಮೇಡ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ಹೋಮ್ಲೆಸ್. They made physically homeless by being uprooted from the soil of his or her ancestors. They are uprooted, they are evacuated from their land, okay, from the soil of their ancestors. ಅವರ ಹಿರಿದ, ಅವರ ಪೂರ್ವಜರಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದ ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ಅವರನ್ನ ಅಪ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅವರನ್ನ ಎತ್ತಂಗಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಈ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ they have become homeless. That is in real sense. That is in real sense. They are homeless. Two classes of the homeless. Yeah, so we find two classes of the homeless. Okay, ಎರಡು ರೀತಿಯ ಜನಗಳು ಹೋಮ್ಲೆಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎರಡು ವರ್ಗದ ಜನರು. One group is mobile on a world scale with no country as home and every country as its property. One class, as I told you, okay, transnational corporate executives ಅಂತವ್ರು ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಶ್ರೀಮಂತ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ಸ್. ಅಂಥ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಆನ್ ಎ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್. ದೇ ಮೂವ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಒನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಟು ಅನದರ್ country. They move from one city to another city. They are mobile. They do not belong to a particular place. They do not have roots at a particular place. ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಥಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಬೇರೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಸಂಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. With no country as home. Okay, of course they may travel country from one country to another country, but no country will become their home. ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರತಿ ದೇಶನೂ ಅವ್ರು ಸುತ್ತಬಹುದು, ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವುದೇ ದೇಶ ಅವರ ಮನೆ ಅಂತ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ದೇಶವೂ ಅವರ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಅವ್ರು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆದರೆ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಹೋಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಿ. ದ ಅದರ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೋಮ್ಲೆಸ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್, ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಈವನ್ ದ ಮೊಬಿಲಿಟಿ ವಿತಿನ್ ರೂಟೆಡ್ನೆಸ್ ಓನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಮೊಬಿಲಿಟಿ ವಿತಿನ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ತಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಂತ ಸ್ಥಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ನಡೆದಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಓಡಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಸ್, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ who have been living in particular places for centuries, now they have been evacuated, they have been uprooted. And where are they living now? They live in refugee camps, ನಿರಾಶ್ರಿತರ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ವಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ರೀಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಲೋನೀಸ್, ಪುನರ್ವಸತಿ ಜಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ವಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. They do not have their own homes. This is okay. This is the second class. This is the first class. So, by looking at these things, the writer says homelessness has become a cultural characteristic of the late 20th century. Okay, this was written then 20ನೇ ಶತಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊನೆಯ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರೋಸ್ ಇದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಲೇಟ್ 20th century. Now we are in the 21st century. So homelessness ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್, ಒಂದು ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಅಂಶ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ 20th centuryಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ 21st century ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಓಕೆ ಮೋರ್ ಸೊ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅಂಶವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಾಣಬಹುದು 21st centuryಯಲ್ಲಿ. So temples of the new religion called development, right? So you might have heard dams, mines, energy plants, military bases. Okay, you might have heard about such things. So the writer treats or calls these things as temples. Writer dams, mines, energy plants, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ temples ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದರ ಟೆಂಪಲ್? ಆಫ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂ ರಿಲಿಜಿಯನ್. These are the temples of new religion. And what is that new religion called? ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಧರ್ಮ. ಇನ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಕಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಓಕೆ, ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಧರ್ಮ. ಈ ಧರ್ಮದ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡ್ಯಾಮ್ಸು, ಮೈನ್ಸು, ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಬೇಸಸ್. ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ on the altar of this religion, okay, nature's life and people's life is sacrificed at the altar of this religion, this new religion. So sacrificed, what have been sacrificed? Nature's life is sacrificed, people's life is sacrificed at the altar of this religion. So ಈ ಹೊಸ ಧರ್ಮ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೊಸ ಧರ್ಮ, ಈ ಧರ್ಮದ ಬಲಿಪೀಠದ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನನ್ನ ಬಲಿ ಕೊಡಲಾಗಿದೆ? ನೇಚರ್ಸ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಜೀವವನ್ನ, ಅಂಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನರ ಜೀವವನ್ನ ಬಲಿ ಕೊಡಲಾಗಿದೆ ಈ ಹೊಸ ಧರ್ಮದ ಬಲಿಪೀಠದ ಮುಂದೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೈನ್ಸ್, ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಬೇಸಸ್, nature has been destroyed. Many people's lives have been lost. Many people have been made homeless. The sacraments of development are made of the ruins and desecration of other sacreds, that is sacred soil. Sacraments means a divine ceremony, a religious ceremony. Just like, okay, ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಯಜ್ಞ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ we can treat divine ceremony. So this divine ceremony of development, where is it made? ಈ ಹೊಸ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ಒಂದು ಯಜ್ಞಗಳನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? The sacraments, the divine ceremonies of development are made of the ruins and desecration of other sacreds. Other sacred things are being sacrificed. On such a sacrifice, on such a ruins, these ceremonies are conducted. ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಯಜ್ಞಗಳನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ಯಜ್ಞಗಳನ್ನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೇಕ್ರೆಡ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ನ ಡೆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Desecration means destroying something sacred, something honorable. Okay, dishonoring ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪವಿತ್ರವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಅಪವಿತ್ರಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು desecration. So by desecrating other sacreds like sacred soils, these sacraments of development are taking place. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪವಿತ್ರವಾದದ್ದನ್ನು ಅಪವಿತ್ರಗೊಳಿಸುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಈ ಒಂದು ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ಯಜ್ಞಗಳು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ಅಂತ. They are based, okay, on the dismantling of society and community, on the uprooting of people and cultures. These sacraments or these developments or these temples, okay, they are based, they are conducted on dismantling and separating of society. Societies are separated, peoples are evacuated, their homes are destroyed, and the uprooting of the people and cultures. Peoples are uprooted, their culture is uprooted, their culture is destroyed. So by dismantling, by separating societies, communities, by uprooting people, by uprooting culture, these sacraments or these development works have been taking place. ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನ, ಸಮುದಾಯವನ್ನ ಹೋಳು ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ, ಅದನ್ನು ಅಧಪತನ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಮತ್ತು ಜನಗಳನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಯನ್ನ ತನ್ನ ಮೂಲ ನೆಲದಿಂದ ಬೇರ್ಪಡಿಸೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ಅಂತ. ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೇಕ್ರೆಡ್ ಮದರ್, ದ womb of life in nature and society. Look at this. Soil is the sacred mother, especially for the tribal people, for the farmers. It is sacred mother for them, and it is the womb of life in nature and society. It is womb of life because from the soil, okay, many lives take birth. It is the womb of life in nature and society. ಮಣ್ಣು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ಪವಿತ್ರವಾದ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಸಮಾನ, ಮಾತೆಗೆ ಸಮಾನ. womb of life, ಜೀವನದ ಒಂದು ಅದು womb, ಗರ್ಭಾಶಯ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ನೇಚರ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ. Its inviolability, it means soils, sacred soils, inviolability, that cannot be broken or dishonored. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗದೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ದು. You cannot break soil. So that means not in physical sense, okay, the bonding, in emotional sense. That means you cannot break the bonding of people with the soil ಅನ್ನೋರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ. ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಮಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನ ಹೊಡೆದು ಹಾಕೋದು, ಬೇರ್ಪಡಿಸೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಸೊ ಅದು inviolability has been the organizing principle for societies. The societies are organized, the communities are organized because of this quality of soil. Because society, soil means not the soil of field, ಹೊಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಅಲ್ಲ. If you are living at a particular place, that is your soil. If you are living in Bangalore is your soil. If you are living in Chitradurga, that is your soil. If you are living in some village, that is your soil. Okay, so this quality, this unbreakable quality of human bonding with the soil, with the place where they live, is the organizing principle for societies or communities. ಆ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಗುಣ, ಭಾವನೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. But development has declared it backward and primitive. But development has considered this fact, or the quality of soil, or the bonding of human people with soil. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಂಟು, ತಾನು ವಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜಾಗದ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಂಟು ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಿ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಮಿಟಿವ್. ಸೊ they say that, oh, it is backward, such people are backward, such thought is backward, such thought is primitive. ಅಯ್ಯೋ, ಯಾವುದು ಓಬಿರಾಯನ್ ಕಾಲದ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಓಬಿರಾಯನ್ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಈಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಣ್ಣಂತೆ, ನೆಲ ಅಂತೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. Okay, they call this primitive, old. Primitive means old. Backward means, okay, you are backward, you are not advanced on orthodoxy. But these people means who have a close bonding with the nature or soil, they differ from us not in belonging to a bygone age, but in having a different concept of what is sacred, what must be preserved. These people do not belong to Stone Age. These people means the people who considered the bonding of soil as sacred, or soil as sacred mother, ಮಣ್ಣನ್ನ ಪವಿತ್ರ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಸಮಾನವಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನ ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವುದೋ ಓಬಿರಾಯನ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಶಿಲಾಯುಗದ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿದ ಜನಗಳಲ್ಲ. They do not belong to Stone Age. They are our contemporaries. They live with us. Okay, they belong to the same century. But they differ. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, in the concept of what is sacred, what must be preserved. So the difference is in the concept of what is sacred and what must be preserved. Okay, they consider soil as sacred, they consider nature sacred, and they want to preserve the soil and nature. But we, the so-called people who are in favor of this kind of development, okay, we differ, okay, in their concept. ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗದೆ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ ಹೊರತು ಅವರು ಸಹ ಇದೇ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿದ ಜನರು. The sanctity of the soil must be sustained. Look at this. We have to give importance to soil. The sanctity, the sacredness, a pavitrate idella mannindu, that should be sustained, that should be protected, that should be saved. Limits must be set on human action. Okay, there should be limit to human actions, human activity in the name of development. ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಕೆಲಸವೆಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಇತಿಮಿತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. From the point of view of the managers of development, from the point of view of managers of development, in other words, high priests of new religion, ಈ ಹೊಸ ಧರ್ಮ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನ್ಯೂ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಅದರ ಪೂಜಾರಿಗಳು ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಚಕರು ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋರು, ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ, ಅವರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ sacred bonds with the soil are impediments and hindrances to development. These people who are in favor of development, the priests of this new religion, they consider sacred bonds with the soil are impediments, problems, hindrances, obstacles to development. ಅಂಥ ಆಥರದ ಒಂದು ಭಾವನಾತ್ಮಕ ನಂಟು ಅಥವಾ ಪಾವಿತ್ರ್ಯದ ನಂಟು ಆ ಒಂದು ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ, ನೆಲದ ಜೊತೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಗೆ ಮಾರಕ ಅಂತ ಈ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಪರವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನರು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತಾರಂತೆ. People who hold the soil as sacred will not voluntarily allow themselves to be uprooted. Yes, people who consider, who think that their soil, on the soil which they live, okay, is sacred, they do not voluntarily agree to be uprooted from that place. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಯಾರು ತನ್ನ ನೆಲವನ್ನ, ತನ್ನ ಮಣ್ಣನ್ನ, ಪವಿತ್ರವಾಗಿರ್ತಂಥ ನೆಲ, ಪವಿತ್ರವಾಗಿರ್ತಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣು, ನಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ಪೂರ್ವಜರೆಲ್ಲ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅಂಥವರು ಯಾರು ಸ್ವತಃವಾಗಿ ಆ ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ಅಪ್ರೂಟ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ವಾಲಂಟರಿಲಿ ಅಗ್ರಿ ಆರ್ ಅಲೋ ಟು ಬಿ ಅಪ್ರೂಟೆಡ್ ಆನ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್, ಸಚ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಸೇಕ್ರೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Development requires a police state and terrorist tactics to wrench them away from their homes and homelands. So these people do not vacate their place. ಇಂಥ ಜನರು ತಾವು ನೆಲೆಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಗ ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಡೂ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್, ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಪರ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದೇ ವಾಂಟ್ ಎ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಟು force vacate their places, to punish such people and make inevitable to vacate the places. ಅಂಥ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಿಂಸೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಆ ನೆಲವನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್, ಪ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜೀಸ್, terrorist strategies to wrench them away, to send them away, to push them out of their places, out of their homelands, out of their homes. ಅವರ ನೆಲದಿಂದ, ಅವರ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ, ಅವರ ಹೊಲದಿಂದ ಅವರನ್ನು ಹೊರ ನೂಕಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬೇಕು, ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕು. And along with that, it will consign them as ecological and cultural refugees into the wasteland of an industrial society. So this kind of system, ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್, ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್, what will it do? It will consign, it will captivate, it will hold them as ecological and cultural refugees. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಂತ ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಕಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ರೆಫ್ಯೂಜೀಸ್, ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಮತ್ತು ಎಕಲಾಜಿಕಲ್, ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್, ಪರಿಸರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತಹ ನಿರಾಶ್ರಿತರು, into the wasteland, and where they have been thrown, they will be thrown into the wasteland of industrial society. From nature, they will be thrown into wasteland of industrial society. ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ವಾಸವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರನ್ನ, ಹೊಲಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರನ್ನ, ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರ ನೆಲದಿಂದ ಕಿತ್ತು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಗೆ ಅವರನ್ನ ಸ್ಥಳಾಂತರ ಮಾಡಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ನಡೀತವೆ. ರೈಟ್, bullets as well as bulldozers are often necessary to execute the development projects. Yes, to execute development projects, bullets are necessary. Bullets means police bullets, or sometimes illegal weapons to terrorize the residents of those places, to vacate them, ಭಯಪಡಿಸಿ ಬುಲೆಟ್ ಇಂದ ಪಿಸ್ತೂಲ್ ಇಂದ ಭಯಪಡಿಸೋದು, and sometimes bulldozers ಇಂದ ಅವರ ಮನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕೆಡವೋದು. Okay, by destroying their houses using bulldozers, by threatening them using bullets. Okay, so these development projects have been executed. ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಲಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Of course forcefully, that means forcefully. Victims of progress have experienced their own uprooting and have resisted it. Of course, victims means ಯಾರಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Okay, those people who have been facing problems. Victims of progress have experienced their own uprooting and they have resisted it. Of course, they have resisted the uprooting. ಯಾರನ್ನ ಅವರ ನೆಲದಿಂದ ಜಾಗ ಖಾಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡಲಾಗುತ್ತೋ, ಜಾಗ ಖಾಲಿ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಜನರು ಅದನ್ನು ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೇ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಗ್ರಿ ಟು ವೆಕೇಟ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ದೇ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಗ್ರಿ ಟು ಬಿ ಅಪ್ರೂಟೆಡ್. Okay, they have resisted their evacuation, but forcefully they are made to go away from those places. Right, so in the beginning, but both the victims and the state pursued each sacrifice as a small one for the larger national interest. In the beginning, ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾಗ, in the beginning, both the victims, both the people of the original lands or soils and the state, they pursued their thought, each sacrifice as a small one for the larger national interest. Okay, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಅನುಕೂಲಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ದೇಶದ ಅನುಕೂಲಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಜನ ಖಾಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಯಾವುದೋ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಆದಿವಾಸಿ ಸ್ಥಳಗಳನ್ನ ಖಾಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಿಫೈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡುದು ಇನ್ ದ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ over 40 years of planned development, the planned destruction of nature and society is not negligible. So this kind of activity has been continued for 40 years, over 40 years. ಸುಮಾರು 40 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಗಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ನಡೆದಿದೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ. Peoples have been uprooted across the country for 40 years in the name of planned development and planned destruction of nature and society. Destruction of nature and society has been taken place in a planned way. ತುಂಬಾ ಯೋಜನಾಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನ ನಾಶ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ 40 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದಲೂ ಅಧಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. And this is not negligible. We cannot neglect it. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. 15 million people, 1.5 crore, 150 lakhs people have been uprooted from their homelands. So this is the figure of 1980s. 1980ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ ಇದು. Now this is 2021, 40 years more. 40, that means 80 years. We can say 80 years, over 80 years if we consider 2021. 21ನೇ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು 80 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗುತ್ತಿದೆ. So this is the figure of 15 million is the figure of 1980, 1980ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಫಿಗರ್ ಇದು. Just imagine how many people might have been uprooted from their homelands now, presently. They and their links have been sacrificed to accommodate mines, dams and factories. That means why they are vacating their places? Not for their own use. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಉಪಯೋಗಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವರು ಜಾಗವನ್ನು ಖಾಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. To accommodate mines, dams, factories and such projects. ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ ಕಟ್ಟೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಡ್ಯಾಮ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಗಣಿಗಾರಿಕೆ ನಡೆಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ನಡೆಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಜಾಗವನ್ನ ತ್ಯಾಗ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. And we just said national interest. This national interest, it is limited only to a few elite groups. ಕೆಲವು ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರ ಪಾಲಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾಗುವಂತಹ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು. This is not for the benefit of the population in India. This is beneficial only to a few elite groups. ಕೆಲವು ಶ್ರೀಮಂತ ವರ್ಗಗಳಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾಗತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ. Fine. So one word echoes and reverberates in the songs and slogans of the people who struggle against such development activities, and that one word is matti, soil. Okay, matti, soil. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ಅದರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಜನಗಳ ಸಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಲೋಗನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪದ ಪದೇ ಪದೇ ಪ್ರತಿಧ್ವನಿಸುತ್ತಂತೆ, ಅದು ಮಟ್ಟಿ, ಸಾಯಿಲ್. ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಎ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್. ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿಸ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲೇನಿದೆ ಮಣ್ಣು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಅದರಲ್ಲೇನಿದೆ ಮಣ್ಣು ಅಂತ. ನೋ ಡಿಯರ್ ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, soil is not simply a resource. Soil is not a simple thing. It provides the very essence of their being for such people who have a strong bondage with soil, who consider soil as sacred mother. Okay, it provides an essence of their being. ಅವರ ಜೀವನ, ಅವರ ಜೀವ ಇರೋದೇ ಆ ಮಣ್ಣು ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ. Of course, it is a resource, but not only a resource. ಅದು ಅವರೊಂದು ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ they can grow crops. Okay, they can earn money. Not only that, ಅದೊಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, but they have emotional bondings with the soil. ಭಾವನಾತ್ಮಕ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ ಆ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ, ಆ ನೆಲದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ, ಆ ಮನೆಯ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಓಕೆ, we can consider in two ways. ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎರಡು ವಿಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಈಗಿನ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಎಕಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ರಪ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ನೇಚರ್. This new concept of development, modern concept of development is meant ecological and cultural rupture, cultural damage of bonds with nature. That means this development has damaged bonds with nature. Okay, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೊಡೆದು ಹಾಕಿದೆ, ನಾಶ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. Second one, development is meant transformation of communities. It has transformed communities. Development ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಸಮುದಾಯವನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. How has it transformed? Into groups of uprooted and alienated individuals. So in the beginning, before the development process started, okay, there were organized concrete communities. Okay, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದೇ ಸಮುದಾಯವಾಗಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಥವ್ರು. ಆದರೆ ಈಗ it has transformed, development has transformed, development has changed these communities, organic communities, into groups of uprooted and alienated individuals. ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಗುಂಪುಗಳಾಗಿ alienated. ಓಕೆ, ಹೊಸ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಜಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೊಸ ಜಾಗ, ಆ ಹೊಸ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜನರಿಗೆ, ಇವ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. They do not know their new places, and the people who are there in the new places, they do not know these, okay, people's refugees. So such is the transformation. ಅಂತ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಯನ್ನ ಈ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಂದುಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. Ecology movements, yeah. So what were called ecology movements in the south are presently, they are the movements of, okay, uprooted, rooted people. Okay, movements for rooted people. So these movements were done before uprootedness started. Ecology movements ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it is the movement before uprootedness begins. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜನಗಳನ್ನ ಸ್ಥಳಾಂತರಿಸೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ನಡೆದಂತಹ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು. ethnic movements are movements of the uprooted people. So here the people are already uprooted. Ethnic movements ಅಲ್ಲಿ people are already uprooted, but the movement is for recognition in social and cultural aspect. ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಟಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಟಿಯ ಹುಡುಕಾಟಕ್ಕೆ ಆದಂತಹ ಸ್ಟ್ರಗಲ್ಸ್ ಎಥ್ನಿಕ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಎಕಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸು ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಅಪ್ರೂಟೆಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಗಿನ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಥಳಾಂತರಿಸಿಗಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಡೆದಂತಹ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಥಳಾಂತರ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ. ಎಥ್ನಿಕ್ ಸ್ಥಳಾಂತರ ಆದಮೇಲೆ, ಅಪ್ರೂಟೆಡ್ನೆಸ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಟಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಆದಂತಹ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಗಲ್ಸ್, these movements were carried on the ruins caused by development. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಆನ್ ದ ರೂಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಏನಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ? ಟು ರೀಗೈನ್ ಎ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ಹುಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಓವರ್ their destinies. These movements were to regain a sense of selfhood. Okay, to regain, ಮತ್ತೆ ಪಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ. They want to regain selfhood. ತಮ್ಮತನವನ್ನ ಅವರು ಪಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅಂಡ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಓವರ್ ದ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನೀಸ್. ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಡೆದಂತ ಹೋರಾಟ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇರ್ ಲೈವ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಅದರ್ ಏಜೆನ್ಸೀಸ್, other projects, other people, but they wanted their life to be controlled by themselves. They wanted selfhood, self-identity. So for the self-identity, for selfhood, to have control over their destinies, they started these struggles or these movements called ecology movements and ethnic movements. Okay, dear students. Okay, so that was the explanation of this particular class. Now let us have a look at learning outcomes of this class. So the students know about Vandana Shiva. Yes, okay, you have some information about the writer. They have comprehended the modern concept of development. Yes, modern concept of development, you now know very well. And they have learned about the damage done to the tribal population. What kind of damage has been done to the tribal population in the name of development. Okay, dear students, now multiple choice questions. Question number 1. Pick out the term which is not related to Vandana Shiva. Ecofeminist, B. Woman writer, C. Environmental activist, D. Political activist. So which word doesn't fit to Vandana Shiva's, okay, maybe struggle or identity? Okay, you are right. So she is not a political activist. Good. Vandana Shiva is chiefly associated with freedom movement, Chipko movement, industrial movement, nature movement. Yes, I think very easy. Yes, the word is very familiar to you. And here it is, Chipko movement. Okay, right, good. So question number 3. Which of the following awards is not received by Vandana Shiva? Right Livelihood Award, Sydney Peace Prize, Sahitya Academy Award, Fukuoka Asian Culture Prize, which is not received by Vandana Shiva. Yes, you are again right. C. Sahitya Academy Award is not received by Vandana Shiva. Question number 4. What is the new religion called according to Vandana Shiva's this prose? Democracy, temples, development, globalization. What is the new religion called according to Vandana Shiva? Yes, dear students, you are perfectly right. Development. Okay, new religion is called development. Question number 5. And the last question. Dams, mines, energy plants are compared to projects, temples, destroyers, none of the above. Think. Yes, thought. Good. Check your answer. B. Temples. Yes, temples of new religion. These are. Okay, so this link is used to download the photograph of the writer, and this link is used to take some information regarding Vandana Shiva. And of course, this book is referred to prepare this video class, dear students. Okay, fine. Now, let me close this class. Okay, right. Just a minute. Where is it? Fine. Okay. End.